Om Swastiastu, thank you for the time that have been given to us. Now in this video, we will presentation about our project that is cost in application. But before that, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Putu Yura Regita Cahyani.
My name is Nimade Mirah Pradnya Pramesti.
My name is Komang Wiweka Premana.
So the first that I will explain is about problems. The current proliferation of public and private universities in Indonesia has an impact on the increasing need for boarding houses in Indonesia. Now, the interest in boarding houses is very high, especially if it is supported by a place near the college. Then, the interest in boarding houses will increase because students need temporary housing located close to the college. The boarding house that students usually need is one room, complete with facilities, which is bathroom, bed, cupboard, table, and much other room equipment. A boarding house is a service that offers place to be occupied by making payment within a certain period. The current problem is that information about the research for boarding houses is very difficult to find because of the lack of information available, so that many new students find it difficult to find boarding houses, which result is the student visiting one by one the boarding houses they pass. This activity was a lot of time for overseas students who need boarding houses. With the lack of information about boarding make it difficult for students to go boarding according to the wishes of the student. Besides students who need boarding houses, boarding house owner also experience problems. Now, the number of boarding houses in Indonesia is very large, which is scattered in several regions, so that the level of competition in the boarding house business is also high. Not all boarding houses are known to students usually. The boarding houses that are known to students are only the boarding houses closest to the college. If the boarding house is far from the college, then the boarding house may not be known by the student. This also has an impact on onboarding house owner who currently still use conventional promotion media such as using browser and promoting them through social media such as Instagram and Facebook in providing information to the public as well as promotion media. But by carrying out such promotion, not all boarding houses information known to student as tenants. Because of this, often the availability of the number of boarding houses and information about boarding cannot be predicted by people who want to look for boarding houses. The information is not transparent and real time. So that students must find information more to get a boarding that suits what they want, such as the facilities, price, boarding position, and the size of the boarding house, which is the student consideration.
Next, solutions. A solution that can solve the problem experienced by boarding house owners and boarding renters is by utilizing information technology, where currently in a business with the help of information technology, it will be able to help when doing marketing so that the business being undertaken does not sink into the business competition. Besides, by utilizing information technology, it will be able to make it easier for people to find related information, which in this case is a boarding house. Providing service with the help of information technology will have a positive impact on the people who use it. In the case of boarding houses, it will be of great help to boarding house owners and boarding tenants, where All information about boarding houses will be displayed on the service. People who need boarding houses only need to access the service and then will get boarding house information according to their wishes. So, people who need boarding houses no longer need to visit one by one the existing boarding house to see if there are boarding houses that are empty or not, because it will waste a lot of time. Next, suggested application. Based on the problem and solution offered, we develop an information technology in the form of a mobile-based application, which is called cost.in. As the name suggests, cost.in, this application will provide information to its user about the boarding house that the tenants of the boarding house want. Also, this application will be able to help boarding house owners so that their boarding house business can be known by many people. This cost.in application will be able to use throughout Indonesia, considering that there are very many boarding house business and boarding house tenants. In this cost.in the application, user can promote boarding house, view boarding house information which include address, price, facilities, and others. Besides that, in the application, user can also communicate with boarding house owners.
Now I would like to explain about user interface in cost.in application. This page is the start page of cost.in application, which is on the page user can log in if they already have an account and can sign up if don't have account yet. This page display registration for user who have not have an account cost.in, which requires user to fill in their name, username, password, and perform password confirmation for registration purpose. This page is a login page where the user must log in, have a username and password first. This page is the main page or that displays that menu and consists of two options. Menu namely is Cari Cost and Daftar Cost. If the user select the Cari Cost feature, the user will be directed to that page display a selection of districts that will be addressed. And next, the page is a booking page where user can make booking as well find out more detailed information about the chosen boarding place, including the facility inside it. To create your cost page is a page that is intended for boarding service providers who want to register his boarding house, where on this page requires boarding service provider to complete the boarding location, upload a photo of the boarding house, provide a description of the boarding house facility, and also the price of boarding for rent. When the user has selected a district, it will be immediately directed to a page containing choice of boarding place available in the district, complete with address, price, and the boarding capacity. Okay, now I would like to explain about the conclusion. When based on the explanation above, it can be concluded that this time the boarding house business in Indonesia is quite high. This is also in line with the high interest of the community to rent a boarding house, especially if in an area close to college, the increase in boarding house enthusiasm will be quite high. Thus, to overcome this problem, there is a solution by utilizing information technology, so we develop a mobile-based application called cost.in. The cost.in application is made to provide information to its user about the boarding house that the tenants of the boarding house want. The positive impact received by boarding house owner is that boarding house owner can promote their boarding house business through this application so that information can be conveyed to many people. The positive impact received by boarding house tenant is the availability of information about boarding house.
So that's all about our presentation, and thank you.